Welcome to this week's Swarf and Chips. We're hoping you're keeping all nice and safe at home. As you can see, we're filming this week remotely. So in this week's show, we will be showing you a machine that can pretty much machine everything that is in your workshop. Now, did you know that there's a way that you can guarantee chip thickness? Well, we find out how with the Hoffmann Group. A big shout out to the last week's Cycle Time Challenge winner. Well done to you. And we have another one this week, and may I say, it is awesome. We see a great deal on a Mitsubishi Spark Eroder from HK Technologies, and we also get to meet Matt, the master of metrology. But first, let's find out what that multitasking machine is all about.
Today we're visiting DMG MORI in Coventry, and Paul, they've always got stock here, aren't they? But this MTX 2000 machine, very, very popular, but why?
Popular machine, multitasking machine. You've got a milling head, a B-axis milling head, you've got a bottom turret, you've got two spindles, essentially you've got almost two machines in one. What I like about the B-axis head on this machine is the size of it. It's almost as tall as it is wide, which means it's very neat, it's very compact, which means you get the ability, even when it's tipped, to still maximise working envelope, which obviously on a machine like this is critical, because if you come down with that head and tip it, you don't want a big sort of bulky head that's going to collide with the second spindle. You want to keep space. Space is obviously a premium, and you're right, yeah, they're available here from stock.
So really multitasking then?
Multitasking. Complex parts, and the fact that you've got over 75, I think 76, might even be 78 tools on this machine for the milling head means as well you've got the option to really bank up your tools, so you don't have to stop production, you don't have to change tools, you can have assisted tooling. All of those factors mean that this is obviously a good machine to select.
And who would this appeal to? That's the main thing.
DMG MORI are selling these not only to manufacturers of specific parts, but general job shops, because you've got the ability to pretty much machine anything. Those heads come with a 3-year warranty. They're their own spindle. They build them themselves, and it's a very capable machine, whether you're turning or milling. So in answer to your question, all about flexibility.
An amazing machine. Before we speak about the machine, Mark, how are you?
Yeah, very well. Absolutely fine. All I would like to say to everybody is just a big shout out to a few companies that are supporting the nation very much from a manufacturing point of view, UK point of view. Produmax and Unicut, they're cutting parts for ventilators, but also customers, Ceratizit UK and Ireland, up to 70% of tooling for companies that are making parts of ventilators. And also look at Renishaw, Gloucester, and also South Wales. They're opening their doors from a manufacturing point of view for ventilators.
And Joe, how are you?
Same, really. Yeah, we're fit and healthy, thank you. Well, certainly we're healthy. But yeah, I'd just like to echo Mark's comments, really. There's lots of companies. There's AE Aerospace, BA Systems, all the Formula One companies, left field companies like Brewdog, Ineos. Jim Ratcliffe built a facility in 10 days there to build, to perform hand sanitizers for the NHS. But yeah, from a client perspective, Goering, Quick Grind, ITC, and whoever's dog that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, we can hear your dog in the background as well. It's brilliant, that's what this is all about. And you know what, we're so proud, and we're going to send out a big video soon about saying a massive thank you. Now, Mark, before we did all of the social distancing, you went out to DMG MORI, so talk me through this machine.
Yeah, just after Mac was postponed, Steve Finn asked us to pop in because there was a lot of stock, effectively. So with that in mind, I went down there with Paul, and I just want to say that the MTX 2000 machine is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best machines actually in the showroom that they have, multitasking, but also it's ready for delivery right now. But also their finance package, you could actually take that machine and not pay a penny for 6 months.
I mean, ideal for, this current situation. And I know one of the companies out there, they've got 12 machines working on parts for ventilators. And so, people are busy in the world of manufacturing. Now, Joe, you're impressed by this machine, aren't you, as well?
It's a great machine. I like the configuration. The B-axis milling head, direct drive motor. It's got plus or minus 120 degrees. Mean you can get all round apart. So yeah, it's 3-year warranty on the B-axis as well with no hourly limit. That's a big thing, isn't it? So you can rest assured for 3 years, if there were to be an error in that B-axis, you'd be covered. But bar capacity, there's a bar capacity of 80 millimeters on a relatively small footprint machine. Yeah, and you can turn over 600 mil with it. It's ultimate flexibility.
Now, of course, if you are interested, then speak to DMG MORI regarding that. I'm going to move on now to something that is an absolute necessity for every single workshop.
In this technical corner, I'm joined by Phil Meakin from the Hoffmann Group UK. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you.
Now, Phil, you have a massive range of cutting tools in your portfolio, but in this particular technical corner you're going to be discussing some of the specialist products that you offer. Can you tell the viewers what they are?
Okay, so the first tool that we're going to discuss is a TPC, just an acronym for Trochoidal Performance Cutting Tools. This is a tool which enables people to machine at extremely high machining rates. This is really has come about from the advancement in CAM and the abilities of the CNC machines to move much higher speeds and feeds, and what you can do is guarantee a chip thickness when you're machining, which enables the removal rates to be so much faster than they ever were. So you can use the full length of the cutting edge. We've incorporated chip splitters into the tools to break the swarf up into smaller pieces, and we do it in a variety. You can notice this one's a blue banded one. This is particularly for stainless steels or in some cases exotics, but these tools come in a variety of colours. Green, you would see. This will be a universal tool, most applications, a lot of steels and so on. And then it might be for a yellow banded one, specifically for aluminiums and non-ferrous. So that follows through the whole of the program. I think we've mentioned before that we've got this colour coding system. The PPC is this particular type of tool, where you can see it's a conic form. In a lot of cases, it looks like a plain cone. It's not. It's actually a very large radius that's struck on this. What this enables you to do is to machine down a component in much larger steps. Under normal circumstances, you'd probably machine with a ball nose cutter, and the limitation would be the cusp heights that were generated from the ball consecutively cutting down a wall. If you imagine this is a very big radius, you can take much larger steps and reduce the cycle time.
So, with the conical barrel cutter, is this predominantly for fifth axis full simultaneous?
In most cases, yes. You need to have, to take advantage of it, you need to be able to advance the tool in multi-axes to move it down the component to generate the finished form, yes.
Phil, thank you very much for giving us a brief insight into these tools. We will find out more in future technical corners with the Hoffmann Group.
Thank you.
Well, Joe, you are our tooling specialist. So what impresses you about Hoffmann?
Hoffmann, in terms of the company as a whole, they're a €1 billion company. They're colossal, and they're almost partly distributor, partly OEM. So I guess they've taken the best bits from a distribution model and being an OEM, and they're combining the two. They're fairly unique. They offer PPE and cutting tools and tooling. So yeah, I would say they're quite a unique company. I'm not aware of any other OEM/distributor that does offer that type of model. In terms of the products we've seen on the video, the TPC, I think it was, the Trochoidal Performance Cutter. We don't need to talk a great deal about trochoidal milling. We all know what it is. If you're not doing it, you should be doing it. And the fact they've got chip splitters in the range as well, that helps with swarf removal. And the conical barrel mills, we've talked at length as well. But yeah, Hoffmann, they're a proper company, good company.
Joe, can I ask you a question, actually? Look, trochoidal milling, or machining, let's say, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. But, as your background is tooling, do you not think that the CAD/CAM suppliers and the simulation software suppliers, if it wasn't for them actually getting the machinist strategies correct within the software, there would be no tool, especially for trochoidal machining?
Yeah, well, if you take software as a whole, if there's no software, there's no trochoidal milling. You wouldn't want to do that longhand, G code. But yeah, to take it a stage further, the cutting tool development is quite often on the back of a machine tool progression or software progression. If there's no, if one of those three fail, the process basically, the growth of that process will slow down and diminish. So yeah, CAM is very important to cutting tool development for sure.
Right, thank you, gents. And of course, Hoffmann Group opened a facility in the Midlands just last year. Right, don't forget the Cycle Time Challenge is your chance to win a Swarf and Chips goodie bag, and that will be coming up. But Joe, now you have been busy as recently you went to visit HK Technologies and found out a great deal on a spark eroder.
So I'm here at HK Technologies with Gareth Jones. Gareth, special offer, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so this is the Mitsubishi EA12S Spark Eroder. It's ex-demo kit and it's less than 50 hours run, and we want to use this as the ex-demo, offer it to market at a lower reduced rate.
We don't have long, Gareth, but what's the specification?
So the specification on this piece of kit in the XYZ is 400, 300, 300. The maximum workpiece is 900, 650, 350. Maximum workpiece weight in kilogram is 1,000. Maximum electrode weight in kilogram is 50. The table dimensions are 700 by 500, and the tool magazine pockets is 20. So the three key features are it's got intelligent digital power master, dialogue supported programming, and the ease of setup.
Anything else, Gareth?
Yeah, so this machine is supplied with an Eroa chuck and a fire extinguisher. Everything that you can see on the piece of kit is supplied, including installation and training. For this quality point at this price level, you need to come and get involved. Don't miss out.
There we are. If you want a special offer on this Mitsubishi, speak with the guys at HK.
Lyndsey, can I just ask Joe another question? Put him on the spot here a little bit.
Yeah.
In reference to, if you look at the ETG group and HK now, they're both together, but what a fantastic portfolio of different products. I mean, you've got all those different brands at ETG on machine tools to a certain extent, but now you've got the additive manufacturing side as well, but also Mitsubishi EDM, and they've always been a very good quality EDM sink machine. I presume they do, they're going to sell quite a lot of these, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a good point. The HK ETG synergies, they're obvious, but they didn't realize how many clients they would actually share. That they do have a number of clients that buy Mitsubishi or Mark Forge or 3D Systems from a HK side who are already ETG customers, but equally they would hope there's plenty that are not. So obviously some cross-pollination of products. But yeah, the Mitsubishi, the EA12S, I got invited in there to do some stock videos, and we were going to do 4. And when I got there, we ended up doing 1 because they'd sold the other 3. They've had a particularly good time of it on the EDM side, back end of last year, leading into 2020. So yeah, no, they've had a really, really strong sales performance of late. But just while you're on, I want to put you under the spot yourselves, really. We're a Cycle Time Challenge. So this is the Star Saber, which you've all hopefully seen on our channels. But of particular interest is the handle. So this is done, I'll give you a clue, ST38, which is a 3-turret Star machine. 3 turrets rather. So 2 on the front half and 1 on the back half. It's a very complicated part, as you can see. Drilled all the way through, threaded both ends. But do bear in mind, it's an ST38 Star, so it's not going to be as long as you think it is. And a dedicated turret on the back half. Sorry, this is 303 stainless steel. And as I say, it's got one independent turret for the back half of the job. So you imagine it's going to be half a cycle time in the standard turning centre.
Right then, Mark, you can put your guess forward.
Well, yeah, it's obviously burnished as well. It's an incredible part, but the Star machines are actually, very, very quick, aren't they? And solid and smooth. They turn right. Okay, 1 hour 56 minutes.
1 hour and 56 minutes. Right, okay. I'm gonna go lower, but I'm not going to put my guess in, but because it's your chance to put your guesses. I'm trying to get out of it, as you can see, to put your guesses for the cycle time challenge in the comments box below. We get Swarf and Chips goodie bags going out of here every single week for the winner and whomever guesses the closest. So make sure you're putting your guesses in the comments box below, and we'll be announcing the winner next week. Right, last but certainly not least, I met Matt, the master of metrology, and he defines what metrology is and why it's so important to us from Zeiss. We're here at Zeiss's headquarters in Rugby, and I am with Triple M, Matt, the master of metrology. We have named him that name. Right, Matt, I want to get straight to the point. What is metrology?
Well, it depends how far back you want to go, really. Metrology is in everyday life. So when you go to the pub and you have a single or a double, it's whether they give you 25 centilitres or 50 centilitres. Weights and measures, how many apples you buy from the greengrocers. It goes all the way through to finite metrology like we do here, where you're measuring parts to ascertain whether the drawings are correct. So metrology, in its essence, is the science of measurement.
And so why is metrology so important?
Metrology, as I said, is a science, and it needs to be engineered into your parts. If your parts aren't going to fit together, you have problems. So metrology ensures that your fits are good and that your parts are accurate to a point of a tolerance, or how wrong they actually are.
So in the world of manufacturing, why is metrology even more important than any other industry maybe?
Okay, that's a good question, because I mean, in manufacturing, it's, do you want your product to work? Do you want your brand to be represented as being a good brand? And if your product doesn't work or it fails in service, then that becomes an issue, and it becomes a global issue if it's major.
And so really quickly, what is Zeiss, what is the industry doing metrology-wise to keep up with the change in our industry?
Okay, Zeiss are constantly developing, constantly looking at how we can move along. So we're always looking that the uncertainty of our machines is greater, because metrology is about not how right something is, but how wrong something is and how certain you are of that measurement. So if you have a machine that's a millimetre uncertainty, that means that it could be plus or minus a millimetre. Whereas if you've got one that's 0.3 of a micron, all of a sudden you're much more certain and much more confident in your results that you're giving.
There you go. Thank you. We've got to stop there just because of timing. We did not call him Triple M, the master of metrology, for no reason. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
You know what? He was so lovely and so passionate about metrology. We were recently there at their Alcom event, and it just shows how important metrology is for the end part when we're going down to literally microns at the moment. Mark?
Yeah, I'm always impressed with Zeiss. You know, many years ago, I was big into my cameras, Cole Zeiss lens. Quality of them was fantastic. But when you look at their metrology portfolio, CMMs, optical, surface measurement, for instance, but they also offer contract services as well. So you can take your part in and actually have it inspected, give you all the data effectively. If you don't have, you know, quality inspection and metrology products, I just think they're an incredible company to work with, and the portfolio is vast.
Yeah. Well, I can't really add much from a Zeiss perspective. Mark said everything. They're a fantastic organisation, but just from CMM and measurement, you know, you really do need to measure. You know, you can't fix what you can't measure, and all the other hundreds of cliches we have. But it's remarkable how many businesses we do visit without a CMM. You know, it's everyone should have one. Oh yeah, a lot. They put a lot of trust in their machine tools.
You know what, Joe? That really surprises me. That really surprises me.
Well, there we are.
Wow,
I aim to surprise.
Okay. Exactly. Right, okay, well, we're coming towards the end of the show, and so we want to say a big thank you for watching. We're going to be continuing week on week to bring you the show remotely. If you have anything you want to add, I know you've got the cycle time challenges, but if there's anything you're up to, please get your phone, film yourself horizontally and tell us stories about what you're doing at the moment. Because we know a lot of you are working, a lot of you are busy, so tell us and we'll tell the industry too. Anything, gents, that you want to add?
Yeah, I would, Lyndsey. I just want to say how humbled I am about our industry, you know, helping the NHS for ventilators and other equipment as well. Just unbelievable. I mean, I've got a couple of family members in the NHS, and I've also a volunteer myself. And, you know, I just think it's very humbling, and I just wish, you know, everybody safely. But also from an MTD CNC point of view, our channels have really sort of grown over the last few weeks, a lot more engagement than normal. So, you know, we've got lots of content. You'll be seeing a lot more over the coming weeks.
Yeah, Joe?
Yeah, again, just want to echo Mark, really. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's, you know, keeping us safe. We're going to manufacture a way out of this little bit of trouble we find ourselves in. Everyone stay safe, and love to your families, and we'll see you all soon.
And we'll finish the show on, as we normally do, but with a different word in there. Keep those spindles turning safely.